Good evening. I would like to introduce my uncle, Mayor Greg Newton.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to Taylor. Taylor took a ride with our police department, and her intent was to become a police officer. She took a ride with our Norcross Police Department. She's a senior in school, so she's got a couple of years to go. So first of all, I want to thank Accent Creative for actually pulling all this together. Where are you, Pam? Where are you? You're back there, raise your hand. Thank you so much. If you ever need a good PR company, you got it right here, Accent Creative. They did a fine job for us. Good afternoon. It is my great honor to welcome you to the State of the City address here in our beautiful city, the city of Norcross. Though I can only skim through the surface tonight concerning some of the great things that are happening, you can be assured that there are many successes that time simply will not allow us to share. But we gather here today, not just as residents of a vibrant city, but as a community that's united in purpose, in hope, and a shared vision for our future. I'm reminded of the resilience and the spirit that define our city. And together we've faced challenges and we've celebrated victories that have helped shape us into the thriving community that we are proud to call home. Norcross is not just a place on the map. It's a unique tapestry woven together of stories, dreams, and aspirations. I have a saying that in order to know where you're going, you must first know your starting point. And I'd like to share a little bit about our history. But before I do that, I have some special people here I want to make sure that we recognize. Mr. Lee, wave your hand. Mr. Lee's back there. Kevin Lee's the president of the Korean American Association. There you go. Thank you so much for being here. Randy Meacham, he is the chair of our Gwinnett Municipal Association. Randy, I want to thank a special person who has helped me along the way for 40 plus years, my wife Lynn. Raise your hand back there. She told me not to do that, so I know I'm going to do it. Norcross sits on the Eastern Continental Divide, in case you didn't know, and it runs along Thrasher Park along North Peachtree Street. You'll find a monument there that recognizes the Eastern Continental Divide, if you have not seen that. It's actually a physical ridge that serves as the dividing line where waters flow, either to the Atlantic Ocean or to the Gulf of Mexico. The Creek and the Tribe Indians territory over 200 years ago had a well-traveled path leading to the Chattahoochee River. At that time, the path was reportedly called Pitch Tree Road, named after the abundant pitch produced by local pines to seal their canoes. Widened by the early resident William Nesbitt around 1814 to allow the transfer of military goods between frontier forts in Hog Mountain and Atlanta, the portion that is in Norcross on North Peachtree Road, North Peachtree Street, is now lined with restored Victorian homes, stroller-driven, friendly sidewalks, and lively oaks. Continuing the brief history of Norcross, we were founded in 1869. Atlanta entrepreneur J.J. Thrasher purchased 250 acres around the first stop north along the proposed Richmond-Danville lines. 1 year later, the area was incorporated. Thrasher named the new town for his good friend and fellow entrepreneur, Jonathan Norcross, who was also the fourth mayor of Atlanta. And eventually, Norcross became known as Atlanta's favorite summer resort. Beginning in 1878, a commuter train called the Airline Bell made round trips daily from Atlanta to Norcross, carrying visitors back and forth. The Brunswick Hotel, which was used to sit right across from Thrasher Park, was a popular vacation spot for Atlanta's visitors to Norcross. Now, also, we used to be a baseball town. College Street, right behind downtown, was the site of the town's original baseball field, where Norcross Nuggets would play each other on Saturday afternoons. Norcross is said to have produced more professional baseball players per capita than any other town in the nation at that particular time. We produced 4 major leaguers that came out of our town, with a population at that time of perhaps 1,000. And there are a host of minor leaguers as well. And one of the local boys of summer, Roy Carlisle, pictured here, hit the Guinness World Record home run. It still stands today, if I understand, measuring 618 feet. The old baseball field was renovated into now what is Lillian Well Park. It's a green space that's named in honor of the city's first female mayor and later the first female county commission chair, Lillian Well. What you see here, this current city map shown here, led by the former mayor, Bucky Johnson, in 2012, we strategically doubled our size, annexing East Norcross into our city. And we benefited tremendously from the population growth and the economic generation from that move. Norcross has great connectivity, as you can see there. We're bordered by 85, Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Peachtree Boulevard, and Beaver Run Road. In addition, we're bisected by Buford Highway, which is a well-known hub for food and culture. And we'll talk a little bit about that Buford Highway just a little bit later. And geographically, we're in a great place as Gwinnett's closest city to the business hub of Atlanta. Pictured here are our current council members. The city council is comprised of a mayor and 5 council members who are elected and serve at large and serve 4-year terms, which are staggered. And the city council, if you're here, please stand and be recognized. Mayor Pro Tem Bruce Gaynor. Councilmember Josh Baer. Councilmember Marshall Chee. There's Councilmember Andrew Hickson here. Okay, Councilmember Matt Myers. Matt brought 2 future legislators with him today. If you've ever had a conversation with his kids, it's like having a conversation with an old guy like me. These kids are sharp. But the City Council adopts the annual budget. We enact ordinances and resolutions, and we establish a tax levy for the city. We create policy as necessary for the security, the welfare, and the convenience and the interest of our city. The authority and the duties of the City Council are delineated in our charter if you'd like to read further. I do need to make note that our regular meetings for the City Council are held the first Monday of each month at City Hall. Special meetings may be called as needed. And our meetings are open to the public. Now here are our departments and our leadership. Some are here. If you are here, stand. Our City Manager's Office, City Manager Eric Johnson. The Assistant City Manager Tracy Rye. Monique Phillip is not here. Shayla, are you here? Thank you for Stephanie Newton, our Cultural Arts and Tourism Director. Human Resources, Camille Washington's here. Police Department is Bill Grogan here. Okay, and Public Works, Glenn Housley. So in total, we have 9 department heads, along with several managers and supervisors, and their staff who work tirelessly to make Norcross thrive as a great city. The city is in a strong financial position. We're in a strong position to manage our obligations. A recent audit showed that we spent $16.6 million in our major operating fund and ran a surplus of $1.4 million. At that same time, we have accumulated more than $6 million in restricted revenue in recent years to make a down payment on our public safety building that is currently under design, and we'll talk a little bit about that. It will house both our police department and our municipal court. We've also leveraged grants to tackle deferred maintenance of our stormwater infrastructure to the tune of $6 million from ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, and we've committed 55% of our 2023 SPLOST to transportation in order to catch up on the maintenance of our roads. Now, Norcross provides a variety of municipal services, and that's important to all of us. But what makes us somewhat unique is that we sell electricity. So in doing so, we participate in the ownership and the output of 6 nuclear power plants that provide the power. Now, 4 years ago, we negotiated to sell power to a new Amazon facility at the county line at Doraville. And within the next 2 months, we will not only power that facility, but also hundreds of Rivian delivery vehicles based there. Yeah, you can give that a hand of applause. You know, our rates are lower than Georgia Power rates, in case you didn't know. And as we drive to grow our business, we anticipate being able to increase the revenue that Norcross Power supplies to help fund city operations. So, as a goodwill gesture, I think the council, the council is giving all of its residential utility customers a one-time $30 electrical rebate. I think that will happen at the end of next month. Business development in the city of Norcross. Relative to industry, our most competitive assets are having 2 development authorities, our Downtown Development Authority and the Norcross Development Authority. Location that is very accessible within the North Metro Atlanta area, serving the gateway to Atlanta and the I-85 corridor. Our labor draw, and we are part of over $2.3 million in our employment center, the ARC, or Atlanta Regional Commission. Our infrastructure, we have our own electric company, as I mentioned before, and stormwater maintenance here in Norcross. Another highlight is our quality of life, our small town charm, our well-planned communities, and we're working hard to maintain our small town charm here in Norcross. Our regional partners for business development include the Council for Quality Growth, Partnership Gwinnett, the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce, the Southwest Chamber of Gwinnett, the Gwinnett Municipal Association, the Gateway 85 CID, the Georgia Municipal Association, and the National League of Cities. So we have really several partners that are working with us to help make Norcross a great place to live. Sustainability at work. Sustainability, it permeates all that we do here in Norcross. We support global efforts to save our planet through reducing our carbon footprint. Now, the City of Norcross adopted its sustainability plan in 2017. Norcross was recently certified with platinum status in 2023. Yes, we support healthy places and healthy people. There have been several accomplishments our sustainability organization offers. We became a B City. We're with certified recertification. How many of you know that if the bees die, we die? If you don't, you better find that out. So we've created pollinator workshops, ARC green communities with platinum certifications, pedestrian-friendly initiatives, and our biggest sustainability-related challenge right now is what to do with glass, as recycling is very, very expensive. So if you have some suggestions, the city manager's right there in the back next to you. Homeownership. Homeownership remains our primary well-building tool for all Norcrossians. Our permitting activity remains brisk. In 2023, permits totaled 755, while in the first 9 months of 2024, now we've seen 551 permits issued. So this keeps us definitely on track. Now these also include demolition, residential, remodeling additions, as well as trade permits for repairs such as electrical, plumbing, roofing, and its current trend indicates that we will far exceed our permitting from the previous year. The City of Norcross is also an alumni of GIC, or the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. This is a 3-year program. The program offers technical assistance to municipalities with best practices for affordability. It's resulted in 2 developments being awarded the DCA's 9% low-income tax credit, or LIHTC. We have a proposed 180-unit Norcross Housing Authority developments, which we'll talk a little bit about later, and a 70-unit senior veteran development that we'll also talk about in a bit. The most important item on this slide, I want you to take a close look at that, is our median household income for Norcross, Peachtree Corners, Duluth, and Gwinnett County. Taking a close look at that, you see in the last 3 years, our median family income in Norcross was $58,236. In 2022, not 2024, but in 2022, the median family income is $74,927. So, yes, we're attracting several new citizens to our city, and several new citizens with a higher median family income. So your property values are going up, and so are your taxes. Let's talk about targeted industries. When we talk about economic development, our targeted industries are industries that we want to grow, industries that we want to promote, and industries that we want to attract here in Norcross. Cities may identify industries as targeted for a number of reasons, including the economic benefit to the city. Targeted industries may create high-paying jobs or expand a region's or city's industrial tax base. Targeting these industries help our growth potential because targeted industries may have a potential that is best suited for retention and expansion in our city. Existing strengths. Targeted industries may build on a city's existing strengths and are interconnected. For instance, a growing healthcare sector may lead to an increased demand and support for services, logistics, and retail. Creating a network of interdependent industries that strengthen the overall economy simply helps us all and helps to grow our city economically. Our Economic Development Department completed a study recently on our targeted industries. Taking a quick look at our employment by sector, the highest industry clusters by percentage of our total jobs are professional, retail, trade, wholesale trade, manufacturing, and administration. But having the right employment sectors are critical for economic development. The employment sector plays a crucial role in the overall health and well-being of the city. The right mix of sectors that contributes to the vitality and the sustainability of the city, impacting everything from economic stability to the quality of life of its residents. So those are the industries that we're targeting to bring into the city to help us to grow. Vacancy rates. This came up in a recent conversation about buildings in our city, and leasing buildings in our city. There are 3 areas that we're looking at: office leasing, retail leasing, industrial leasing. Now, analyzing our vacancy rates in general, a vacancy rate between 5 and 10% may be considered healthy. This implies that you have balance between supply and demand. If the vacancy rate is under 5%, that could mean that the demand is greater than the supply. And we're only there in the retail leasing area. But you can compare us to other cities and some of the sister cities in the county through this map. Okay, talk about business support and investment incentives. Being in a foreign trade zone allows Norcross to be more competitive by reducing tariff burdens on goods and imported finished products. Some of you that own businesses are certainly interested in these next couple of slides, and potential business developers. Now, this keeps costs competitively low. Having a Freeport tax exemption allows for tax-free storage and transfer. It's an attractive option for companies with high value or high or internationally sourced goods. Businesses can significantly reduce their operational costs by exempting certain types of tangible personal property from their ad valorem taxes. The Freeport tax exemption, which we adopted roughly 6 years ago, maybe a bit more, but it stimulates economic growth by attracting businesses engaged in the movement and processing of goods through our tax exemptions. Business supported investment incentives. Norcross and Gwinnett County as a whole, we tap into what's called a Tier 3 ranking by DCA for job tax credit tier rankings. Companies in Tier 3 communities are eligible, and some of you new companies probably need to write this down, are eligible for $1,250 per year per new net job over the course of 5 years, as long as at least 15 jobs are created and are full-time jobs. You're entitled to that deduction. Within Norcross, there are 5 separate census tracts and that have been designated by DCA as what's called less developed census tracts. And companies in these areas are eligible for the maximum job tax credit benefit of $3,500 per year, and are only required to create 5 new jobs. Please see me if you have more questions about what I just shared with you. Talk a bit about the Norcross Comprehensive Plan. The City of Norcross engaged our community over the past couple of years on 2 important plan updates that were completed in the spring of 2024. The Comprehensive Plan. The Comprehensive Plan establishes a long-term citywide vision along with policies and actions for achieving that vision. The update ensures that the plan reflects the community's priorities for growth and development. The Town Center Livable Centers initiative, you've heard about those two, that plan builds on the previous update with new implementation strategies for enhancing pedestrian safety and incorporating electric vehicle charging infrastructure in the town center and along Beaufort Highway. Each plan plays a vital role in fostering a future Norcross that meets the needs of its uniquely diverse population. Talk a bit about historic downtown Norcross. When people think of the city of Norcross, among the first things that comes to mind is our authentic downtown area. The importance of creating and maintaining a sense of place where the entire community and visitors can come together for special events, for shopping, eating, and recreation is critical. Therefore, there is continuous effort in placemaking to enhance the vibrancy and the overall quality of life within our downtown, as well as our city as a whole. Our restaurants provide unique dining experiences, and as you go downtown, you can find a dining experience that takes you all over the world. And they're among the mainstays of our downtown. And new establishments are on the way, and we'll talk more about those later on. But recently, our downtown has gained more storefronts and restaurants such as B&W Burger, Refugee Coffee, Butter Cream, and Rose and Hemp. Norcross Microtransit. Transportation is an important part of any city's economic growth. You'll hear more conversation, more talk about transportation relative to Gwinnett County and its efforts. But the Gateway CID Microtransit Plan initiative partnership with Gwinnett County and the city of Norcross to jumpstart a micro transit project right here in the city. The plan includes a startup for 2 years. Is that right, Bruce? And if the transit plan that's presented by the county passes, then we can look at maybe cutting back on our costs. I'm not telling you how to vote, but I am just giving you information. But again, microtransit wouldn't start until 2027 if the city had not acted, assuming the T-SPLOST initiative passes in the fall of 2024. Now, microtransit is an on-demand minibus service that operates like a Uber bus pool or other ride-sharing pool services within a certain designated zone, if you see our maps. The low cost per ride is $3 one way, back and forth. $3 to get you there, $3 to get you back. The microtransit zone that's selected includes major traffic designations for Norcross residents, as well as key employers in the general Norcross area. Some of our restaurants told us that they would have to close early because their workers don't have adequate transportation. This helps not only them, but it helps to keep our restaurants open a little bit longer. All of the incorporated city of Norcross is included. Downtown Norcross, Dick's Sporting Goods, Publix, Targets, Walmart, all the way out to the Global Mall. We just saw a good friend and owner of the Global Mall, Shiv Agarwal, come in. And the Hong Kong Supermarket, the Indian Trail Park and Ride, the Georgia Department of Labor, Department of Driver Services. The employers include Eagle Rock Distributors, Amazon Distribution Center, Olay Foods, Epi Bakery, and many, many others. So we want to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Bruce Gaynor, Council Members Matt Myers and Council Member Andrew Hickson for their work in championing this important initiative. my favorite, Buford Highway. For several years, we've been developing downtown Norcross. And once the South End project is completed, large-scale projects in our downtown will essentially be built out. There's room for some other development that the Mayor and Council and the DDA are considering. Overdevelopment, in my opinion, may compromise our historic charm and our historic character in our city. But continued growth, however, is necessary. It's important in supporting our present and our future. The Buford Highway Master Plan was created in order to guide and to shepherd just that growth. Buford Highway is a busy corridor. It easily cuts through our diverse city, and it cuts it in two. And in the past, that physical division has correlated with a division in demographics and access to city public spaces, opportunities, and entertainment. The City Council has unanimously approved a high-level master plan to guide the international development along the Buford Highway corridor between Jimmy Carter Boulevard and Beaver Ruin Road, but with a specific interest in uniting the city through new residential, retail, parks, and office space. It will also include some existing walkable retail shops, diverse dining experiences, and an international flavor and entertainment for the whole family. A water feature and a trail project are also part of the plan. So we are diligently working with the Urban Land Institute, and thank you, Assistant Manager Tracy Dry, for your leadership on this, and on providing technical assistance panel, we call a TAP panel, to do a tactical assessment of Buford Highway, the corridor, for suggestions on this mixed-use development, housing, and other plans for the corridor. Recent developments. Within the last few years, new developments have been completed. We've, of course, at the downtown district, we talked a little bit about those businesses. And the South Peachtree parking project should be completed, our last report by City Manager, in roughly 2 weeks. The South End parking should be completed. Somebody was going to give that a hand. We've completed 1,000 apartment units when we were talking about the Brunswick, the Broadstone, Perry, the Clare, the Sage. Single family and townhomes such as the Kelly and others, which have been long completed. So within the last few years, we've completed several. I want to talk about just a few of those. The Norcross Housing Authority. Pictured here is a recent aerial photograph of the Norcross Housing Authority Walton Communities residential development site work. Demolition is completed and the site work has begun. The development has a projected construction timeline of 18 months. Picture here a proposed site plan for Phase 1 and Phase 2. And they're currently in the permitting stage. The development is located along Mitchell Road between Garner and Reeves Street. This development replaces a circa 1950s housing development there. And it's a joint effort by the Norcross Housing Authority and Walton Communities. The development has a projected construction timeline of 18 months. These are proposed architectural renderings of what the building there will look like. This development will total 180 units with set aside for 55 plus demographic, 90 units as a matter of fact. Norcross Housing Authority received tax credit awards for both Phase 1 and Phase 2. And it's very unusual for a city to get 2 LIHTC credits, and Norcross certainly is blessed by achieving that. The Sage community. Sage is one of Norcross's 2 projects that were awarded the 9% LIHTC. It's a senior and veteran housing project. It'll be located at Beaver Ruin and Buford Highway, that intersection. The proposed multifamily residential complex will total about 70 units. The projected timeline for completion is 18 to 24 months is the scope. The Perry, originally coined as the gateway to Norcross, most of you know where this project is, near Peachtree Industrial. Fides Development was the developer on this project. It's a 160-unit apartment complex, cost of $35 million. Recently completed at the end of 23, leasing is certainly ongoing. This is an aerial view of the project that was completed. The retail component on the front side is currently in permitting. The Perry resident apartment community is at 6885 Jimmy Carter Boulevard, as I mentioned. Units, there are 739 to 1,173 square feet. It's a pet-friendly with 2-bedroom apartments starting at $23.47 monthly. Then there's Eclair. I got this update around the 1st of the month. It was renamed Pros, and it's now open. Alliance Residential is the developer. They're building 280 units. This is a $60 million project with anticipated full completion by this year. This is an aerial view of the project. In total consists of 4 5-story buildings, a single parking deck. Their 1-bedroom apartment is maxed for around $1,800. Their 2-bedroom is $2,300 a month. My daughter is sitting there. I don't want to get it. My daughter is here. I love her. Having a safe community is a top priority. As our city grows, so is the need to grow exponentially in the area of public safety. The city plans to construct a new public safety building, if you haven't heard already. And this public safety building will house our police department, municipal court, and a public meeting space. This new facility will be located on the land that was formerly the location of our old Norcross Library at the corner of Buford Highway and Stevens Road. And on the adjacent property, we purchased also for additional parking. Croft and Associates has been selected as the architect slash engineer to design the building. Turner and Townsend Hearing, AEI, has been selected as the project manager and will oversee the design and the construction processes on the city's behalf. Now, these are some of the recent sketches and are subject to change, developed by Croft for the public safety building. The top sketch shows you detail from a perspective of about 20 to 25 feet above Buford Highway, looking straight at the building. At that height, we see the side of the courtroom, which is now windowless, but has brick detail that frames areas within which the brickwork is angled at 45 degrees and herringbone pattern. You'll see that same herringbone pattern detail between the top and the bottom windows on the left side where the public meeting room is slated to be built. On the top wall, it has brickwork that carries from the public space at the left to the courtroom at the right, tying together the two areas. The windows for the second floor communications, this is where the dispatch center, is set back from the courtroom on the first floor. Now, we're still in our early planning stages. I want to make sure that that's clear. We've had one town hall meeting and several follow-up work sessions on topics related to this new addition to our city. And we'll have more. As transparency on such a huge project like this is very, very important. We anticipate, once we get started, we anticipate completion in about 2 years. Some people have been asking, well, what's the building out on Old Norcross and Jimmy Carter Boulevard? They were working on that for a while. Well, it's called the Hilton. That's one of the most recent projects that have been completed. The Hilti Group commenced a science-based target initiative, SBTI, in line with the goals of the Paris Agreement, being a core element of its corporate strategy. Hilti enhances its contribution to reducing carbon emissions across the entire value chain. Now, the Northbell Business Park is about 90,000 square feet. This building occupies about 45,000 square feet. CleanSpark, if you haven't heard or haven't visited, they do offer tours. CleanSpark is another relatively new business in Norcross. CleanSpark is an 87,000 square foot Bitcoin mining facility and is in a former data center building. The site participates in Georgia's Flex REC, or Renewable Energy Credit Program, and is a 100% net carbon neutral facility. That speaks well of it. CleanSpark is a premier example of how Norcross is a great location for companies needing high-speed internet and reliable power. As a Bitcoin miner, it uses specialized computers. We had a great tour there to verify transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin mining makes the promise of decentralized currencies, like Bitcoin, possible. Now in CleanSpark, they mine Bitcoin in a responsible way. They use a sustainable energy mix that includes nuclear, hydroelectric, solar, wind, and I might add, electric power from the city of Norcross. And we're glad to sell it to them. Suniva. I want to talk a little bit about Suniva. Recent legislation, the Inflation Reduction Act, has helped to catalyze the reemergence of Suniva as one of the world's largest solar cell manufacturers. The IRA was aimed at subsidizing domestic manufacturing of clean energy equipment while also putting certain tariffs on taxes on foreign products, leveling the playing field for Suniva to re-enter the market since they filed for bankruptcy in 2019. The initial upgrade and expansion will allow Suniva to have an initial production capacity of 1 gigawatt per year, enough to power about 173,000 homes. Once the second phase of expansion is complete, it will increase production capacity to 2.5 gigawatts per year. Now, we recently celebrated the return of Suniva to Norcross with a visit from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who visited our city. And one of her requests of me was, Mayor, find me a good barbecue restaurant. This is coming from one of the most influential women in the entire world. Norcross Trails and Greenways. The trail connects to Cemetery Park, to Pinnacle Park, and to Beaver Ruin at locations, and also runs along Mitchell Road, Price Place, and Pinnacle Way. It includes, and it's hard to see from here, but it includes 3 segments that are within the Norcross LCI study. The first one, a greenway along the east-west running Georgia Power transmission corridor. The Greenway is a segment of a larger trail that begins at Button Gwinnett, west of Norcross, and continues to Gwinnett Place Mall, east of Norcross. Segment 2 is a greenway along Beaver Ruin Creek from Everglades Trail at the Georgia Power Transmission Easement to Brook Hollow Parkway. Then thirdly, a greenway trail along the tributary of Beaver Ruin Creek that begins at Norcross Tucker Road and ends at Beaver Ruin Creek. With our greenway trail development, the city is implementing this as an LCI Greenway plan, which it integrates regional stormwater improvements with a proposed bicycle and pedestrian network for the southeast side of Norcross. Okay, Norcross was awarded a Livable Center Initiative grant to help fund the planning of this vision. Construction, design, and RFP is imminent. And I believe the amount that we have, shake your head if I'm correct, is roughly $8 million, city manager. Okay. So that's a lot that we're getting from the feds to help to build this project. CID projects. One of the state's largest CIDs is the Gateway 85 Community Improvement District, which is a partner of Norcross. Now it represents more than 550 owners, accounting for more than $1.7 billion in commercial property value in Gwinnett County, with an economic impact of $16.6 billion annually. The district has 3,090 businesses that employ more than 47,400 workers, making it one of Metro Atlanta's most important employment centers. It's right here, connecting the city of Norcross and Peachtree Corners. Led by Executive Director Henry Morsberger, Gateway 85 CID is focused on improving the bottom line of businesses within the district by using funds paid by the property owners in the form of an added millage rate. Now these funds are then used to update the infrastructure like bridges and sidewalks, study mobility and logistics improvements, and enhance the security and beautification over its 14 square mile district along the I-85 corridor, about 1 mile north of I-285. Okay, as I close, I want to share that the city has sponsored many events that often outnumber our sister cities. Arts and culture are frequently celebrated in the city of Norcross. Summer concert series like the Bluesberry Music Festival, Jazz in the Alley, Art Splash, Hispanic Heritage, Dia de los Muertos, Holidays in Norcross, the Red, White, and Boom. And coming up this weekend, the Deutsch Car Show. And it's always a fun favorite of mine. The Irish Fest, the special events, Easter egg hunt at Rosie Brothers Park, which also has a special ADA playground, and many, many more. And also you can pick up brochures that talk about this a little bit outside. More and more cities are investing in festivals and events for good reason. When they're done right, festivals promote the city's brand. It increases tourism, it fosters the arts and community involvement, and it increases revenues for the municipality and the local businesses. They can even revitalize the city and create a renewed spirit in the city. Norcross offers a diverse range of activities and attractions. So we want you to visit our historic downtown, dine in our fantastic restaurant with our fantastic restaurant choices, and discover our unique shops, our antique stores, and experience a taste of Britain or a Colombian coffee at Cafe 45. You can explore Johnson Dean Park Trail You can walk down memory lane at our vinyl record shop and tour our historic homes through walking tours. Now I can go on and on, but the time has been far spent. I do want to say that a great city is measured by the quality of the lives of the people who live in it. We'll continue to provide leadership born from taking on the city's toughest challenges and obstacles and delivering inclusive, innovative, and equitable solutions that improve the quality of life for all of our residents, fostering a vibrant, resilient, and a thriving community. So I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight as we shared what makes Norcross great and makes it a great city in which to live, work, play, and to grow. So thank you all for being here. Have a blessed evening. And yes,